Look at that, man. New year, new me. What's good with you people? Let's get a mic check real quick. Maybe I'll put it right here. Something else I've been trying. Nah, man, I'm not always late. I'm always on time, homeboy. Come on now. All right, let me get a mic check from some of you guys. I know the camera's a little bit off right here, but hey, haven't been on for a minute. So before we get this thing started, let's make sure you guys can hear me. Not maybe I'll go check it out myself real quick. I don't want to sit here and talk for 2 hours and then somebody tell me, hey, Gil, your mic ain't working, homeboy. All right, so let's get a mic check, people. First and foremost. Mic check, mic check. We good, Notorious? We good? What's up, Notorious? How you been, homie? Yeah, we working. Okay, good. Just want to make sure the mic's working, man. Sounds good. We got this over here. I got this new stuff. We're gonna be going out doing some let me see where it's comfortable at. What's up, Shy Boy? Carnal? Happy New Year to everybody out there, man. I hope everybody's doing good. 2026, we're doing our thing. Let me say what's up to all the yous, man. Got Lonnie Cruz been around for a minute. Big Blue Dramatic was good, homeboy. Robert, Joey Knuckles, what's good, players? Don't even trip about the membership, man. Of course, my boy Notorious, man. I hope the kids are doing good, Carnal. I hope all is well with you. Big Grumps. What else we got, man? What is it? Banser, finally. Johnny, what's going on, Johnny? I see you still got that ranch, homeboy. Of course, my homeboy Shy Boy. What else we got? Validated Streetwear. Que onda, carnal? Yo, what's up? Watch from inside the Metrolink. That's right, man. Oh, man. Oh, what was that? Give me a second here. We're already having some technical difficulties on this thing. What the fuck? So what I'm going to do is I am going to not mess around with this. Give me a second. I don't know why that camera did that. Take a shit real quick. Is it back? Oh, there we go. It's back, I guess. Oh, I know what it is. Give me 1 second. Need the hardwire on the Wi-Fi, players. I haven't done this in a minute, so all this stuff's been. Where's that connection, bro? Where is that connection right there? All this stuff in here has been. Here we go. That should hopefully make it work. Get the Wi-Fi going a little quicker. Let it catch up real quick and I'll be right back. There we go. Why is there such a big delay? Make sure this thing's working correctly. All right, so let's see. Welcome back, Gil. That's right, Juan. Appreciate that $20 super chat, my man. Much love. All right, so it's definitely there. I got a little laggy right now, but hopefully that connection I put in there is gonna make it start working a little bit better. I still see a little lag. Why? I don't know. And if not, I might have to just take off this camera and put another one on there. Yeah, I got a lot of lag, bro. Mm-hmm. What up? What up? Now, Chale, let me find out you're wearing the Maduro infamous sweater. That's a good one. Hey, he's looking fly, carnal. Maduro's looking fly. All right, so let's see what else we got in here. Let's get some people up in the building. Why is this thing like this? Give me a second. Yeah, that thing is. Why are you doing that, buddy? Yeah, back to the same old stuff. So let me do this real quick, bro. Yeah, I don't like that. Hold on. Don't like that. Of course. As of now, we're having technical difficulties. I wouldn't think anything less. It's like anything else is working. It's all working great. until you come back, and then you got to connect it all. All right, so just hop on there for a second, people. Let me get this thing going right. This is kind of funky with the leg. I don't like the leg. Come on. Why are you so laggy, bro? Why are you so laggy, bro? Don't be so laggy. Let me try to reset this whole thing real quick. Yeah, I've had a bunch of stuff put away. So I actually had to run out and get all this stuff going again. You know, let me put this thing. Pull it off here a little bit. Go. See if this thing's working correctly. If not, I'm just gonna put the regular. Yeah, that's weird. All of a sudden, it wants to act up and be funky. That's all right. All right, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just go off the old school way, bro. Oh, wait a minute. What's wrong with you? Why are you so slow? It's too much lag, too much lag. So what we will do is we're gonna go off the maybe the world doesn't want me on, homeboy. Okay, let me do this. That's funny. Nope, nope. The fuck. All right, as long as you guys can hear me. Can't see you. Yeah, I'm knowing, bro. I'm trying to see like I said, I haven't done this in a minute, so I thought I had everything connected, which I did, and now all of a sudden it doesn't want to let my camera. Oh, maybe because it's 480p. All right, let me see if this works. This might work. I've had all the stuff stored away, been cleaning up the garage. Now this thing all of a sudden, I'm trying to even just use my laptop camera right now because this GoPro all of a sudden wants to act special. What do you mean battery saver, bro? The heck? Si no es una pinche cosa, es otra, carnalitos. No, OBS, no. All right, so let me go to settings. Yeah, Boo Boo messed up the wiring, carnal. I said I don't want to show you guys my face, homeboy. Go to settings on this thing. No, I don't want to do that. Just connect it. Yeah. Let me see. All right. Camera. I don't want this camera. I want USB, bro. Just regular old camera. Chale tamale. Well, at least while we're doing this, we get some more people in here, and then we'll start getting the conversation going, man. System. Display. No. Display system. Where we at? Let me get my fucking glasses on. There we go. Focus. Advanced. Nope. Where the hell is my camera, dude? Camera. What app? No, maybe it's just not meant to be. Let's see, bro. There we go. All right, so I'm sweating like a whore in church. So what I got is just a regular cam from the computer. I don't know why this guy just happened. Yeah, this guy's on lag patrol right now. The GoPro is acting weird, so I'm not even gonna trip on it, bro. We're gonna get back to the basics right here. But all right, let's get back over here real quick. I just gotta make sure you guys can still hear me correctly. Let me look at the audio. Yep, audio's working just fine. All right, there we go, man. Let's just back just a bit. Good to see the warden back. Yeah, man. The YouTube yacht of the trip right now, bro. Just the whole YouTube world, man. The whole social media. I've been watching in the cut, chilling, bro. And it's next to comical. You know, the racial thing that was going on, all the essays are racial, you know. If you're a gangbanger, bro, and you're a gang member, your job, the ultimate job is to kill somebody, bro. Like that's what you do as a gangbanger, right? So to me, it's funny how you got guys over here saying, you know, that, oh man, you know, these guys are saying racial stuff. Well, if you're a gangbanger, you're supposed to be a killer, homie. All them little words ain't supposed to affect you. And if they do affect you, you're supposed to go get your money instead of crying on the internet, bro. It's insane, man. It's insane. Venezuela Latino president disagree except tar. Venezuela. All Latino presidents disagree except tar. What's except tar, bro? I'm not sure what that is, my man. Let's see. You prefer live on YouTube or TikTok? You know what? I hardly ever go on TikTok, bro. I do got some TikTok videos I'm gonna upload, but just for some like tools and stuff that I've actually been purchasing on there. That actually some very cool stuff I've been getting over on TikTok. So I made a couple videos like Gilly's Garage. But if you talk anything on TikToks, it especially politics stuff, it'll kick you off, man. So where you at, Holmes? I'm on my pad, fool. I'm on my pad. This is my man cave, carnal. Come on, player. This is where all the good stuff happens, carnal. No quieres llorar, no chingues. Now you're working? Now you want to work, fool? Now you want to work? Well, let's see. It might work. Now you want to work? Looks like it's working. All right. That's a much better camera, too, by the way. We'll see if it does work. And if it doesn't, we'll get back to this guy real quick. See, as soon as I did that, camera, as soon as I did that, it kind of, froze. What we we ain't trying to get that one, bro. Trying to get a different camera. Field world. Why did I even do that? Because the camera's actually working. Let's see. Well, yeah, of course. I don't want my Wi-Fi on this. Okay, let's take this off. It's trying to connect to my phone is what it's trying to do. There we go. So now, there you go, big guys. There you go, big guys. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, if this thing goes off one more time, I'm just gonna leave it on the way I had it, bro. But there you go. It's a little funky, but we'll make it work today. We'll definitely make it work today. Time warp now. Press that. Then you press this. Nah, bro, I don't want no time warp. I'm just kind of perfectionist, bro. I gotta get. There you go. That's the. Oh, let me take that off so maybe I can see what I'm looking for. No, that shouldn't be on that. Yeah, because the picture looks a little funky, bro. That's my videos. Yeah, look at that. See, I've been making some videos, broskies. Those are some of the videos that I've been uploading. That we'll be uploading here pretty soon. There you go. Cinematic should be the one I'm looking for. But I don't need to be recording. Come on, Gil. Get it together. All right. Last but not least, I know Chris hates these GoPros, but once they're working right, look at that. I'm over here sweating like a horned church, bro. What is Colo say? All right, man. That's it. That should be up and running. We should be going good now. Put some rollers on. Nah, no rollers on right now, bro. Let's see what we got, man. Well, good for you, Baldwin Park. Good. Yeah, Dub stay crashing out, bro. That guy needs Jesus back in his life, carnal. Let's see what we got. Ah, there we go. Hit Hard Inc. Cuba Big Gil. Happy New Year. I said mais, carnal, from the city of Colton. What's going on, homeboy? Yeah. We'll talk about that guy in a minute, bro. But right now, what we'll do is we'll hit a little bit about Venezuela, what's going on over there. And I think what's going on is just, Trump is out here gangbanging, bro. Trump is out here just doing what he does, man. And do I agree with what's going on with what he did out there? No, absolutely not. I think it's a bad move. I think that he came in saying that he was not going to, start with the nation building and regime change, and that's exactly what he's been doing, bro. He's actually been doing that. He's doing regime change. He's doing everything that what he ran on and said he didn't want to do. And there's clips of it. He doesn't want to be like Hillary Clinton. He doesn't want to be like Joe Biden. He doesn't want to start wars. He talked about not starting wars with because of Ukraine and anywhere else. But now what's going on is going to be that now Russia is going to probably say, screw it. We're going to take all of Ukraine, bro. Why not? And I don't see why China wouldn't also say that they're going to take all of what is it, Taiwan they're trying to get. So it's going to be the same thing. I think now these countries are going to come in here and want to push up on other small countries because Rubio's idea seems to be, well, they're in our hemisphere. They got resources, and we need to take care of the resources. They shouldn't be selling it to other people. In other words, since you're in our hemisphere, you can't sell oil to China. You can't sell oil to any of our quote unquote enemies. Therefore, we're going to take their shit. So, okay. So that means that other big homies in their side of town, which is going to be Russia, which is going to be China, can sit there now and go to those countries and say, you know what? We're taking your stuff, bro. Since America is opening up the door to us being able to take your stuff, we're going to take your stuff, man. No, I don't believe that for 1 second, bro. China and Russia are going to have to fall back. No. As of right now, America doesn't have anything as far as the resources of Venezuela. They took the president. They took the wife, which is a cold-blooded move, taking the wife, bro. They had no business taking the wife. I could see Maduro all day long, but the wife, no. The regime is still in power. They haven't toppled anybody else. You would have to put troops on the ground. You put troops on the ground, and here we go again. We're in another Iraq. We're in another Vietnam type scenario. You can't just sit there and believe that people from other countries just want to live exactly like Americans and live under American rule. Heck, we can't even get our own country going right. We can't even get our own stuff going right over here. Why is my battery running low, bro? What the fuck is this? Hold on. Jesus Christ. There we go. There we go. Everything that can happen wrong is happening now, which is okay. Makes you part of the game. Jose J said 10 black guys jump one Mexican, 0 news coverage, but everybody was crying about Lucky, including Raza podcast. Yeah, bro, but I was saying that like the same people who's supposed to be gang bangers, who's supposed to be like the mayor, like Munchie B, the gang bangers and this and that, and you're crying over some stupid ass joke that he made, but killing one another, that's okay. You can sit there and podcast with somebody who your rivals and you got murders on and all this stuff. It's Clown City, bro. It's Clown City. Those guys are out there selling out for $200 or whatever else they got. They don't care, bro. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke. Let me make sure this is on again. Hello. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's a joke, bro. And especially to those brothers that were out there trying to push a certain narrative. I can go online every day, bro, every single day and say, look what this black person did. Look what this, I mean, them fools got the nerve, bro, because if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, who does more scandalous shit, who be out there just, who's got the worst type of stereotypes? Our stereotypes could be, fools work, they all live in a fucking 10 in a house or an apartment, they drive 10 in a car. But as far as as far as their stereotypes, come on, bro. You don't want to go down those stereotypes because stereotypes are earned, man. And for them to sit there and actually jump on board and, oh, look, this is racist. Oh, look, get out of here, man. It's just, it's grown ass people just being crybabies about stuff. And if you a gangbang like that, go get your money, homie. Go get your money. That's all I gotta say. Stop with the BS and fucking crying about, oh, this guy said this, homie. Come on, carnal. I see this becoming Iraq too. Oh, I see this becoming Iraq too. Old enough to remember Iraq regime change. Shit went south real quick. When the Iraq thing was going on, bro, I said it's a foolish move. They should not be going to Iraq. They got no business going to Iraq. They went to Iraq anyways. They seem to believe that you could just go in there and change people's just lifestyle, and you're not going to do that, bro. But, America, without a doubt, is modern day Rome, bro. It is Rome. And Rome does what Rome wants to do, bro. So to me, listen, I'd rather be on this side of the fence and that side of the fence. Do I agree with it? No, but, at least with this guy, he's kind of not, he's not beating around the bush, man. He's kind of telling you, we're going in there for the oil. But it's not going to be as easy as just taking one guy and then everybody's going to change. Gil, is that walrus exposed to? No, that walrus loves those guys, bro. He couldn't be exposed to, carnal. Yeah, trust is still here. The beginning of do the right thing. Yeah, man. The Cuban president said something about 32 of his security was killed in Venezuela bombing. Yeah, because they got each other's backs because it's communist countries, so they got each other's back. But now they're threatening to go to Cuba. They won't go to Cuba. They'll never go to Cuba. If they wanted to go to Cuba, they would have gone there many years ago. But they're still very afraid that Cuba has some type of bomb, which I 100% believe they do. YouTube drama is all money game. They make a video and log off, forget all about it, except Joker from. We ain't from there no more, homeboy. Well, I guess when he's drunk, he is. But, bro, the ego, homie, the ego's taking that fool down. Big Gil, puro unhoused Mike. What's up, unhoused Mike, homie? I hope you kept a little dry in your tent, carnal, out here in the rain. That's right, Chucks. AC, late Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Same to you, my man. Same to you, carnal. We're still here. Look at that. HB Chemistry. What's going on? You think Rome will fall if Rome keeps pushing buttons? Yeah, well, eventually this whole thing's going to fall. And how it's going to fall is the amount of debt that we have in the United States, bro. This is the biggest amount of debt that we have ever had, bro. And you know who carries our debt, right? So at some point, our debt's going to be so much where we're going to have so much inflation. And what happens is our money's not worth anything anymore. And that's the way we're headed, bro. We're giving Ukraine billions of dollars. We're giving Israel billions of dollars. We're fighting wars over here. We're fighting wars over here. Yet people still can't afford to live in America the way they used to. Before you used to have one good job. The man could work. The wife could stay at home, raise the kids. You still go on a couple weeks vacation. You have a new car every so many years. Life was good, bro. But as you can see, that the more time goes, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So I would love to think that America go to Venezuela,
start, getting their infrastructure, especially their oil stuff, going again, and give back to their community, because Venezuela should be, without a doubt, one of the richest countries in the world. They should be able to have free healthcare. They should have their roads up to par. They should just free college. Their socialist way that they wanted should work, but they just didn't have the people there to manage it correctly, and kept the engineers there. It's a lot of corruption, and unfortunately, I don't think if America goes in there, it's going to change anything. Do American billionaires and all that really care about giving back to the people? Nah, bro. They just want to get richer, man. It's like it's a competition. What's up, Carnalismo, homie? I remember I talked to you a few weeks ago, and you were wondering, what's up, Gil, man? You keep me up to par on this politics stuff, bro. Well, we are trying, my man. We are trying. SOC, wait. Maduro, he got what he wanted. Now you got the guy from Colombia saying the same thing. To me, it just shows the weakness of Venezuela. How in the hell are you going to go in there and get a president, bro? To me, it makes no sense, bro. Somebody had to backstab that guy. But yeah, he was poking the bear, but that's what you got to do. If you're a dictator, you're running a country, you can't show weakness, Holmes. You can't. American me showed us that. You can't show any weakness. He can't sit there and say he's afraid, even though they said behind the scenes that he wanted to get out, go to exile, and that. But America just wants the oil, bro. And what they're doing with Maduro and his wife is also being used as a pawn, because what they're doing is they're letting anybody else as a power know. I think that it's I forgot her name. It's a lady that's the interim president right now. They're pretty much saying, if you don't give us access to the oil, we're gonna do the same to you. But I think what they're gonna do next, America is gonna start acting more like their big daddy Israel. They're gonna start bombing and killing people. At this point, what's the repercussion, bro? Because Trump pretty much went in there, took a president out. That thing's dying. Powering off, huh? Okay, so let's go over here, bro. Powering off. I tried, bro. I really tried. All right, so we're going to go back to the regular standard program, which is, I think, which one was it, bro? Take that one out. USB. And where should we be back right now, broski? Gilly. There you go. So we're back with this one. Yeah, so to me, they want the oil. They're gonna do anything they can to get the oil, and it's gonna eventually turn into. They have to put boots on the ground. But once American lives start being lost, that's when the pushback will come, and I think it'll be a horrible thing, because what would happen? It'll end up becoming some type of guerrilla warfare, where, let's say, you'll have people in the jungle out there. Yeah, they'll go in there. I'm sure they'll take the cities over pretty quick and all that. But eventually, you'll start having terrorism where they're going to blow up their oil fields out in the water, because their thing isn't oil fields like in Saudi Arabia and other places where it's in the desert, right? Their oil fields are in the ocean, man. It's a certain part over there that's where they got their big oil. And you got to remember, they have the most reserves of anybody in the world, bro. Let's see what you got. I mean, debt about to be gone with all this new oil we're gonna have. There's so much more to it, Gil. Respectfully, I hope you do your deep due diligence. You'll see it differently. I wish that was true, but the reality of it is, billionaires are gonna make that money, bro. Billionaires are gonna make that money. Politicians are gonna make that money. Do you think they're really gonna get that money and put it back and be responsible with the debt? Look at the debt. Let me see. Let me see where the debt is at right now. All right. What is the debt right now in the United States that we owe? Let's see. $38 trillion, bro. Before it was insane to say we had $1 trillion. We're at $38 trillion in debt. That means it'll like for a regular family. Let's say for a regular family that makes $50,000 a year, that would mean you're like, I don't know, maybe $5 billion in debt, and you're putting in $100 a month to pay that debt off. No, bro. That debt eventually will go to every single one of us in inflation, in higher taxes, where you can't afford to buy nothing, bro. So no, there's no way. When have you seen in time that billionaires, and now we're gonna have trillionaires here pretty soon, get so much money and give it back to the people, bro? It just doesn't work like that. I wish it did, but it doesn't, bro. What's going on, Brown Cultura? Cule J. Cholo. Yeah, not culo, homie. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, America's the police of the world, but it's a big hypocrite, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love America. I would not want to live anywhere else, but it's the biggest hypocrite in the world, bro. They literally went in there and took a president out. Then they're always, talking about, hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, Russia, you should stay out of these people's business. Hey, China, stay out of Taiwan. China's gonna rush Taiwan, bro. To me, there's no doubt about it. China's gonna rush Taiwan because now they got the green light. They got the green light to sit there and rush them, bro. Because look what America did. America's pretty much saying, hey, they're in our hemisphere, so I want my oil. So there you go, homeboy. Here's a little something when they're deposit 5K. What's that one? That viral one? I think I even put it on my hold on. I put it on my IG, bro. Where's that crazy guy, bro? Hold on, let me find. Oh yeah. This guy, bro. we ain't getting our money, fool. We ain't getting our money, man. Oh man. TV, what's going on? Hello, glad to see you back. Yeah, dude, I took a few months off. I'm not saying I'm doing this like every week or whatnot. This is a lot going on the internet. A lot of stuff with Maduro and all that stuff, and it just comes down to America. Like I said, America being the superpower they are, they're Rome, bro. America is Rome. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. America is Rome. And Donald Trump is Julius Caesar right now. And Julius Caesar says he wants that oil, bro. And he's flexing his muscle. They install Machado as president. I'm hearing that they don't like her. I'm hearing that they think she's very weak. And that the army will not follow her. You see, when you get coups, and that's when you go in there and you politic to try to take over the yard, which is take over the country, right? When you get coups like that, you need to have somebody who the army, not just the people, but the army will follow, because the army are the ones that will get the people in line, because the army are the homies that are hitting fools. They're the ones putting in work. They're the gangbangers, bro. So if you think about it as a gang sense, it's the same thing, but just on a much higher level stage, right? If somebody comes in, wants to be the leader of this hood, and they ain't got no respect from the gangbangers and everybody else, you ain't gonna get nowhere, bro, because they're gonna look at you like, fool, you ain't nobody. So I doubt she's gonna be in there, bro. I think what they're hoping for, they scared Venezuela enough for the new president to go in there and say, hey, all right, dude, let's renegotiate. We'll have you guys come back in, bring your engineers, which I think Venezuela screwed themselves up to when they took over power. But at the same time, you can't just sit there and negotiate with America, bro. America's gonna come in there, and everybody else gonna come in there, and they're gonna take your shit little by little, man. But that's the way it is. Donde loco, 50K for family. That's crazy in a tent, maybe. Yeah, pretty much, boy. Gas will be $1 a gallon, except for nah. You guys who think like that give too much credit to politicians and billionaires, bro. You think they're gonna give you a tax break? No, man. They're gonna sell this stuff overseas, bro. They're gonna make their money out of it. No, every time oh, this refinery went down, so your price goes up. This happens, your price goes up. If you look at the oil companies, they have, I don't know what year they've lost money on, because they've never losing money. I mean, the house always wins, carnal. They ain't gonna give you $1 gas, bro. But for sure, it'll be much higher in California. California is looking at a $8 prices here pretty soon, because a lot of refineries are closing up and they're just setting up shop. Am I good on this yard? I don't know, homie. I hope so, carnal. I hope so. Yeah, pretty much, man. Come on, you know that, bro. Ain't no average Joe. No, carnal. They're not gonna. Sorry, people. I wish it was like that, but ni madres, man. Yeah. Julius, homie. Sick placazo. That's who he is, homie. Julius Caesar, carnal. But look what happened to that vato. Spell his frijoles. Is that what it is? Let's see. So was it a good thing that Maduro got arrested or not? I keep seeing videos of Venezuela people being happy about it. Saludos, Gil. I guess it depends who you ask. There's people in Venezuela who are not happy about it. There's people in Venezuela who are very happy about it. There's always, like anybody else, even like on the YouTube yarda, fool. You can have half of the people hate you, half of the people love you, right? Is it good that Maduro's out of power? I think when you ask that specific question, I would say, yeah, it probably is pretty good, because the guy was a brutal guy, a dictator, doesn't know how to run his country, his oil. But it sets a very dangerous precedence, because now you're saying, because I'm a superpower and you are in my hemisphere and you've got resources that I want, I can go in there and take your shit. Well, Ukraine has a lot of resources, bro, and they promised those resources to America already for helping them fight the fight with Russia. They promised them X amount, right? First dibs. So now Russia's looking at this, and it's politics, bro. It's politics. If you think the pinta, the street politics are cutthroat, look at this shit, bro. Do you really think that Russia right now is now thinking about negotiating with Ukraine and giving them more shit back? No. Right now they're like, okay, that's what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Well, they're not just on my hemisphere, they're on my fucking border. So think about that. America is saying we have the right to go to Venezuela because Venezuela is in our hemisphere. It's a national security. Venezuela is way down there, bro. Ukraine is literally like this, bro. Border to Russia. That means Russia not gonna say, you know what, fuck it then, bro. And Russia might not say, you know what, maybe we'll take out Zelensky. It gives them the opportunity. Same thing with Taiwan and China. They're right there, bro. They're just right off the fucking water. So that means we can go there and get it. You got to open the Pandora's box to this. You open the Pandora's box to let's go back and start doing it like back in the early 1900s or 1800s. In other words, let's go and colonize these places. Let's go gangbang and take over their hoods. I mean, it wasn't so much colonizing back then. It actually was always called colonizing. So it's opened up a Pandora's box that they may not be able to close. And also, what you got to understand is that China was the one, even though we owe China a lot of money, was the one that's holding the debt to Venezuela. They were the ones. They were like, Venezuela was cut off from a lot of countries because of the United States, bro. They were cut off. They were told, don't do business with these vatos. These vatos on the Levant. These vatos are no good. You vatos don't do business with them. Anybody does business with them is gonna get smashed, bro. That's just how it works. But smash doesn't mean you get beat up. It means I'm not doing business. It's business, right? So Venezuela needed somebody to help them out. Who's the big homie on the other side? China, communist China. So China was lending them money to keep their country going. But how they were repaying China was with that crude oil they have. China said, man, you got a crude oil? Because America told everybody, hey, you can't buy from them. So China said, shit, we don't follow your politics, homie. We got our own politics, so we're gonna buy from them. But we're not gonna just buy it. We're gonna lend them money, and now I'm getting a big old discount. So China's owed about, they say, anywhere from $50 to $80 billion from Venezuela. But right now, the oil has stopped in Venezuela. They're not shipping anything out because they got it all blocked. They got a blockade going on, which means China wants their money, bro. And China might just say, you know what? All right, you're gonna block that off. You know what? I'm going to Taiwan, bro. So it's gonna come to a point where America's gonna have to make a decision. Are we going to another World War III? Because you want to sit here and get greedy, bro. And that's what I think it is. But we'll see. got? What you got? Let me know when gas is 150 in Texas, bro. Read that one real quick. Yeah, he does have a warrant, bro. But Netanyahu, bro, it's Netanyahu, the little, the little hat people, bro. They rule the world. Carnal, let's keep it 100. They rule America. American politicians, whether left or right, can never agree on anything. Just about, bro. But they can agree on Israel. We need to support Israel. We need to give Israel. Israel has free healthcare, bro. Israel has free housing. Israel has everything you want, bro. Israel is our Section 8 baby mama, homeboy, who's out there living the dream, partying up, getting your kids' child support and just living the dream, bro, while you're over here struggling, bro. But that's unfortunately the way it goes. Mega Cholo, what is your take on exposed to being exposed? High powered dropouts. Ha. We'll talk about exposed to right now, bro. We'll talk about exposed to and everything else. Isn't she a Jew? You're talking about the Machado or whatever her name is. I don't know if she's Judea, but she might be. But I know she was praising Netanyahu. She was saying her Nobel Peace Prize should be going to Donald Trump. Bro, they want all of South America, and that's just what it is. And when I say they, you know who I mean, man. Maduro's addicted to all narrative of him being a leader of Soul Cartel is fake news. He didn't have corruption. You can't even use that, bro. They literally pardoned the president of Honduras who had major drug trafficking, and they got proof he had 40-something years federal time. They pardoned him, and then they say, we got to go after Maduro because so many people are dying. Maduro's, if he's in the drug trade, he's selling cocaína, homie. People are dying off of fentanyl over here and off of meth, bro. So that means you got to go to Mexico. I mean, let's keep it 100. It's like this fool hits you, it's Mexico, bam. And then you run all the way over there on the block and hit this other guy, bam. Yeah, you hit me. Nah, fool, that fool hit you, bro. But, it's just a small excuse to go in there. But once you heard about the oil, Trump has no filter. Trump can't sit there and try to politic that way. Oh, no, we're going to get their oil. We're going to make lots of money. We're going to sell their oil. Like, damn, Trump's already writing checks for the aceite. And who's going to get it, carnal? We'll see. Cholo, you heard about Nick Shirley mom being a scammer? Listen, they're gonna sit here and try to throw those people under the bus. Let's say his mom was a scammer. Let's say his dad was a scammer. My mom used to be a dope dealer, bro. Does that mean that he can't sit here and show other people scamming and showing that? It's a big scam. It's a big scam. Out here, they got the same amount of shit going on here in California, bro. Not to that level, but definitely it's a scam, bro. Definitely you got like 4 or 5 different entities in one building. That place has childcare forever. Over here, you got kind of the same thing but it's more like adult daycares. They be doing that kind of scam. It's a good thing that he exposed that, bro. And if it wasn't exposed, if it was fake, Tim Walz wouldn't have pulled out of the governor's race. And Tim Walz pulled out because he knows they got caught slipping, bro. But that's just my thing. Yeah, Trump is a hypocrite. Oh, man. So I heard soldiers use boo-boo's beard to camouflage Maduro, homie. Oh, man. AC, for old times, perro, can you do the meow sound? No, fool, that was your tia Maria. Fool, that wasn't me. That was your tia. Fool, come on, carnal. Yeah, it's all right, bro. Benny, it's okay. You can vote whatever way you want, but to sit here and be a blind loyalist, I'm not a blind loyalist, bro. How many times have you, put your money on a certain box or put your money on a certain thing? It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out, bro. But don't sit here and make every excuse in the book for him. I'm not going to make any excuses for Trump and what he's doing, bro. It's wrong, and it is what it is, carnal. Let's see. Denver, huh? Oil and currency. That's why their ultimate want. Yeah, Gaddafi too. Gaddafi didn't want to let go of the room. Yeah, Gaddafi wanted to make. He wanted to implement a union within the African countries, kind of like the European Union, where the African countries are starting to push their own money, do their own thing, and kind of become one powerful thing. But Rome ain't letting that happen, Cardan. Like I said, Rome is saying, what? These fools want to do what? And then, the little Kipa guys come in here, and then Europe comes in here. They come in and they say, nah, Charlie. These are the guys running the yard of the world, Cardan. These are the powerful things. And unless you got a big army, that's why so many countries want that nuke. Because once you get the nuke, nobody can really mess with you like that. Straight up. That's why they don't invade North Korea. That's why they don't invade Cuba. That's why they don't invade certain countries, India, all those guys. No, because they got the big gun, bro. Once you got the gun, all of a sudden the big dogs are more reluctant to sit there and try to press up on you because they know, like, let's say Venezuela. If Venezuela had that kind of weaponry, America would never gone in there after him. They talk a good one on Cuba. Cuba, they would have gone in there decades ago. They still believe, and I do as well, that Cuba has some type of arsenal that the Russians put in there back during the Bay of Pigs area, during the Kennedy era. And they did, bro. They definitely did. And if just one of those bombs goes over, and I think Cuba's only, a couple hundred miles from Florida. Imagine that. You drop a bomb in Miami, you're killing hundreds of thousands, not millions of people, bro. So they're not going to go in there. Let's see. What do we got in here? The U.S. want to stop the concept of BRICS, which was trade. Yeah, of course. Yeah, which was give me a second. Let me ask this. Which was with Russia. What's Prime talking about, bro? Oh, let me see. Prime. Let me put this check as a speaker. Gil, serious question. Yo, serious question. Do you see any difference to your job or industry when Democrats are in power compared to Republicans? Not, I can't really say. No, let me think, bro. Let me think. I'm thinking now. Yes and no. The big hit we had was during a Republican president, and that was dumbass George Bush, bro. George Bush got us into the biggest recession I've ever gone through, which was in 2008, and that was with the housing market and all that. And that's George Bush's fault. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Obama got us out of that. Under the Trump administration, it was pretty good. Under the Biden, no, California. Well, but also I live in California, which California, it's almost its own entity, like its own country, bro, because of how much money is over here in the United States. I think that's why. But it's always up and down. Listen, one thing I have been like on is in the last few months that I haven't been podcasting or been on social media like that. I've just kind of disconnected, and my life's the same. Like, in reality, if I didn't watch the news, and if most of you guys didn't watch the news, weren't on social media, you wouldn't even know that the Venezuelan president got arrested. You wouldn't know that there's a socialist guy in New York. You wouldn't know that there's a war in Ukraine with China. If you really think about it, if you disconnect off of social media and everything else, bro, your life is what your life is, and in America is pretty much what you make of it. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like about California politics in itself. One of the main ones that I don't like right now, and people think it's petty and it doesn't matter, is how they can go into any apartment building in California, kick you out of your parking space, and make an apartment in there. And they don't need to give you they don't need to give you parking. They don't give you nothing. Especially out here in Los Angeles, the mayor, well, they should be ashamed of herself, because of how much it's hurting people, bro. You got people in Koreatown. There's no parking in Koreatown. That's one of the main places they're fighting it. There should be no way, and that's just lobbyists going in there, greasing up the wheels of some of the politicians in California and the governor, and say, hey man, we need some more housing. We don't need housing, bro. We need affordable housing, but it's the same thing over and over again. But I don't think that much, to be completely honest with you. They say that when they give these billionaires tax breaks is more work. I mean, it could be, but at the end of the day, man, the people should be getting the tax breaks, not just the billionaires. But that's just me. So Joker, nice track suits went up. Nike, yeah, they did, bro. I seen that. They're all sold out. They're all sold out. What should be the goal for Raza in 2026? I don't even think just for Raza, bro. Just people in general, man. To become more or become kind of, I think, as financially independent, where you're not. To me, my goal always was, and that's where I'm at right now in life, and I fucking love it, bro. Where if like this last couple weeks, it's been raining all crazy, right? I don't owe major debt, bro. I really don't. I put myself in a position where I'm not one of those guys that's like stressed out because I can't pay my bills. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, the more they make, the more they start wasting, the more in debt they start getting themselves. And me and my wife, or my wife and I, have always been a little bit different. Don't get me wrong, the credit card will go up and down like the stock market, but in reality, like, it feels so good to be able to say, you know what, man, I'm gonna take a week off, take 2 weeks off, or it's gonna rain, or I'm not gonna work. I'm not tripping on that, bro. I am not. I think one of the greatest things as a man who's worked for so long is being able to just kind of rest, bro. When I was young, yeah, I wanted to get it in. I'm trying to get as many hours. I'm trying to now, no, dude, I'm a 50-year-old man, carnal. I've been putting in work, homeboy. Now I'm just trying to chill. But I think what it is to make responsible financial decisions, bro. Don't get yourself in crazy ass debt. Don't go there and go buy that fast ass car because you think the Maduro oil is gonna come through and you're gonna be cool and gas gonna be $1. Nah, boy. So that's my thing, man. The housing crisis was orchestrated transfer of wealth from the middle class to the rich. Yeah, I agree, bro. And this is the kicker with the housing market crash. We bailed out the big companies, bro. To me, we shouldn't have bailed anybody out. And that's the hypocrisy of the Republican Party. Remember, it's always grab yourself by the bootstraps, do this, do that. But wait a minute. When I fail, I gotta file for bankruptcy, bro, or I'm gonna lose my car, or I'm gonna lose my house. Nobody went to prison over that. Think about it. Nobody went to prison over that. They get themselves bonuses after that. But that's just the system, bro. So when people think that Venezuela is going to give us all this oil and this money's coming back to us and the savings are coming back to us, nah, bro. You're fooling yourself, carnal. You're fooling yourself, man. But that's just me. Lonnie said he's still cruising, homeboy. That's the one, player. That's the one. Yeah, these are facts, homie. Karen Bass, they use identity politics. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, but yeah, but Maduro's looking fly, bro. When he goes to sleep, he's all Nike'd out. If the shit hits the fan and we have to find different state to move to, where should we take a look at? I don't know, bro. There's so many choices. I think one of the hot ones right now is Texas. People really like that. You get a lot of bang for your buck. But I think that just depends what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Do you want, you could go to Miami, be by the beach, but then you got the humidity. You go to Texas, get some ranch stuff, but I heard I think the housing taxes are pretty high over there. North Carolina. So I mean, there's the thing is, we got so much stuff, but it depends what you're willing to give up. One thing in California you're gonna give up is the weather. The other thing you're gonna give up is sometimes the big city life. I mean, in reality, I could definitely see myself living off the grid a little bit, in a nice nice couple acre land and fucking ranched out, this and that. But to me, I mean, I'm a California guy, homeboy, but it's depends on what your flavor is, I guess. I know people who moved to a friend of my wife's from work. She moved out to I think South or North Dakota, bro. And where she lives at, it's a beautiful home. But in the wintertime, it gets like minus 10 degrees, carnal. So it all depends. To me, I don't know if that arthritis in the elbows gonna work or not, but that's just me. What's your take on the New York weirdo mayor? I think it's a great thing, bro. I am actually excited to see that mayor in New York, bro. And let me tell you why. I'm excited to see that mayor in New York because here you go. Here are the keys to the kingdom, bro. Now you can sit there and say, all right, all you super liberal guys and girls, especially you young ones, I understand you wanna govern with your heart, and everybody should have free stuff and this and that. Here you go. Here is the management. You are now the manager of one of, I think it is the most populous city in America, right? New York. I may be wrong, but close to it if not. Here you go. You have the keys to the kingdom. Now run it so we can see if it works or not. I mean, I personally think that no, it's not gonna work, bro. You can't govern with your heart. You got to govern with some of your heart, but you also got to govern with the brain, man. And that's the problem with many liberals. They think that, listen, they have the right intentions. I get that. I do. I think that we in America, we should have universal health care. Absolutely, bro. If we can give billions to Israel, Ukraine, all these countries, we should have universal health care. We should have pretty much free college, bro. If you can maintain a certain GPA, I think we should also have a lot more benefits. Retirement should be at a younger age. You got a jackass like Ben Shapiro talking about why do we need to retire? People should not, it's just some cold shit, bro. But unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna work, homeboy. But if it does, we'll see. But to me, it's a good thing because that way they can finally get the keys to the kingdom and see what happens. I was staying Cali because they have the best autistic financial system. And that's a great thing, bro. See, stuff like that in California, I'm all for, bro. But they should have that. Well, there's other states that the population is so much lower that they don't have those kind of programs. But California, for sure, is in the front of every other state doing good things like that. And to me, yeah, that's a great thing, bro. Talk about Trump wanting 100, 200 denaturalization a month from USCIS. So much for going after the worst of the worst. No, bro, I agree. There's many that were on the Trump train, including myself, that he's gone back on a grip of his promises. He says he wasn't going to get us to any new wars. He bombed Iran. He says he was going to deport the worst of the worst. They're deporting everybody just for the numbers. He says he wasn't going to be the regime change guy. He's a regime change guy. He says we weren't going to be just handing out checks to all these countries. He's handing out checks and money to Israel, Ukraine, everybody else like nothing. So to me, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I'm going to sit there and, and at least give my 2 cents on it, bro. I'm not going to sit here and just be a loyalist and say, oh, he can't do no wrong. Nah. I don't agree with what he's doing whatsoever. But to me, the one not just good, but great thing that Trump is doing is that he is almost like oh shit, this will come back. He's almost like how the mayor of New York, bro. He has shown us that a president can do so much. because before that, many presidents, nah, bro, they were weak. So Trump has showed us what a president can do when he's in office, bro. And that's a lot. That is a whole lot, bro. Most presidents have been a bunch of just, I mean, vaginas, homie, some pussies, carnal. Let's keep it 100. Most presidents have been a bunch of pussies that don't want to push their weight. Donald Trump has came in here and showed us that a president, if he wants, has a whole lot of power, bro. So if we want another president to come here and make some change, hopefully they know that, hey, you can do this, you can do that. But we'll see. Yo, I gotta stick around. YouTube, Gil, enjoy the chats, even though I agree and disagree with you. But that's the whole point, bro. We're supposed to agree and disagree. If not, we'd be robots, we'd be sheep. But at the same time, we're supposed to be able to have that conversation. A lot of people just can't have that conversation, bro. They want to fight, they want to throw insults, but that's just what it is, man. The people that praise Trump for everything are in a cult. Yeah, there's a lot of them, bro. There's a lot of them, but there's a lot who have gone the other way, such as like Tucker Carlson. Right now, I think he won the anti-Semite of the year, bro. They're scared of him. Nick Fuentes, who's been canceled over and over again, but now Nick Fuentes, I think he has the biggest streaming on any social media, even though he's still banned from YouTube, banned from TikTok, banned from Instagram. And to me, it's like, why is he banned? What isn't this America where you could sit there and say stuff that people find offensive? I thought this was America, but you can listen. You can talk all this shit about America. This is the problem. You can talk all this shit about America. You can say America's the worst country in the world. It's a bunch of race, a bunch of this. The minute you sit there and just criticize Israel, you're an anti-Semite and you need to be canceled, bro. And that ain't right, bro. But that's just the America we live in. What does an LGBT? And if he is, so what? Who cares, bro? The problem is nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. No, I thought you guys figured that out about already. Nobody cares if you are or you're not, bro. That is your prerogative and your thing to do. A president that has so much power is bad. There would be no stability every 4 years, depending on who's in power of the country. Yeah, but this is showing you that if you're a president and you want to get some stuff done, you can. All these other presidents, to me, one of my biggest things has always been immigration. Immigration is something that should have been handled for Latinos and everybody else, because it's not just us, it's Africans, it's Chinese, it's Middle Eastern, it's Asian, it's everybody, man. Even the Güeros, but they're not rating the Güeros, right? It's even the Israelis, right? But when it comes to immigration, the Democrats have always ran from it. They'll run for it during the election that they're going to help, and once they get, they're out of town. But Trump, at least Trump is showing you that as a president, you've got a lot of pull, bro, and you can do a lot of stuff. That's all I'm saying. Retiring to Latin America never seemed better. Well, maybe, bro. Let's you don't want to go to Nicaragua right now. You don't want to go. El Salvador's probably nice. I heard Costa Rica is a nice place to retire, bro. Cholo, I'm buying Argentina, building a cabin there little by little with Millie. It might get bad there. Argentina, yeah, although it's especially when you start toppling governments and all that. That's the thing about going to other countries. Sometimes regimes change, and all you know is your property's gone and this and that. But I hope it works out, bro. But I heard Costa Rica's a nice place too. What's up, Caesar? Glad to see you doing live again, bro. Always going to support. That's right, brother. All right, let me go text up real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me go over here real quick. What's up with Exposed to, man? What's up with Exposed to? Oh, boy. Yeah, let's see. Greenland. We got no business over there, bro. We got no business over there, bro. And with Greenland, yeah, we got no. To me, these are fucking like I mean, shit, bro. It's almost like Hitler activities. Like, we're gonna go to another country, just take it. Like, is that what we're doing now? Like, nah, bro. It's crazy. That's what they're doing, man. Gil, I'm pushing the LGBTQ. Lettuce, guacamole, bacon, tomato, and queso on my. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! All right, so speak. Let me see. So we're gonna speak. We're gonna talk on exposed to right now. Oh, let me just get this out of here. All right. So I don't know how many guys follow the YouTube Yarda. Exposed Tube is a guy who has just came out. Let me push this thing up a little bit closer so I don't know. So I just don't. How do you make this thing just bigger and call it a day, bro? There we go. There we go. So Exposed Tube is a guy whose entire content as of lately has been about Dub V, bro. And Dub V is, the famous dubster, bro. There we go. Let me wait a little bit. And to me, supposedly Exposed Tube got exposed today, bro. He got exposed for being on an SNY yard with Dubs. He was the guy who Prisoners Awakening, another guy who's on that side, interviewed about, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, and said that he was there on that SNY place with Dubs. And he gave his reason for, why he was coming out at the time and talking about it and this and that. And to me, yeah, no, I don't agree with that, bro. He says, from what I've seen exposed to the dropout too, he's no better than the other. Nah, bro, this is what it is, man. Most people out here in the real world, pretty much, don't give a shit. Not even most, all people, right? And we all know somebody that's on that side one way or another, whether it's a homie of yours, with a friend of yours, everybody, homie. I don't care what hood you from. I don't care what side of town you from. I don't care what part of California you from, homie. Everybody knows somebody who is in that situation, bro. I've got homies who are in that situation who I still see every, I don't know, maybe once a year. And I'm not talking about I see him like I go, hey man, let's hang out. No, I'm talking about, either you see him somewhere, you're gonna run into him, bro. And some of those guys just, they owe a drug debt, they owe this, they owe that. They're not welcome back in the hood. I'll say hi to them, what's up, fool? That's it, homie. I keep it pushing. My life keeps going, right? That's just how it is. Exposed to seems to be one of those guys. But his reasoning, I don't knock him for it, bro. I really don't. He said, and he still hasn't said, yeah, I mean, he made a small video. He's pretty much admitting who he is. He said that when he recognized who John was after him saying, who's Dubs? And he saw him, at first he was like, all right, cool, whatever. But then when he started seeing him start pressing up on people, calling people PCs, calling people punks, calling people this, he's like, wait a minute, fool. Like, you were there with me, homie. You never acted like this. You were, in other words, you were SNY just like him. And then that's the issue that most people have. It has nothing to do with somebody politicking because you're this, you're that. You got one of the biggest informants of all time, uh, Enriquez, now out on the internet. You don't see nobody trolling him and saying all kind of shit because why? Because the guy admitted who he was. He's out there still doing the same shit. He knows what his faith is. That's why he still hides his face, even though eventually I think he'll come out. But he's not pretending to be somebody he's not, bro. And that's the problem with John, man. John was in there with the Bible. He was a Christian. You could tell by his parole hearings that he was completely done with that life. And for that, I don't knock him, fool. For anybody who goes on that side, it ain't my place to knock you, bro. I may not mess with you. That's not anything being disrespectful. I will never call you out your name. I'll never call you a B. I'll never, no, bro. That's not what we're doing over here, bro. But to sit there, go that route, especially Dubs, bro. His ego is killing him. His ego just will not let him say those words. To me, the hardest words I ever had to say was, I don't bang, fool. That was so difficult for me. So difficult for me. I don't bang. Those were the hardest words. Why? Because I had to swallow my pride and put my ego to the side for my family, bro. But it was the greatest thing that I ever did, bro. I wouldn't be in the position that I am today as a husband, as a father, as a grandfather, as a pillar in the community if I never said those words. And John, unfortunately, all his stuff came out, and I guess the hardest thing for him to say is, I debriefed. I told. I've said this before, and there's videos of it somewhere, and I've said that Dubs was the most gangster guy on YouTube. And I say this like this: he was the guy that went to camp, went to the youth authority, caught a life sentence, did over 2 decades for his hood, like all this, bro. Regardless of where he was at one point or another, it was for the hood. I mean, regardless whoever he got, it was for the hood. He did everything right that you're supposed to do as a gang member, but look where he's at now. He could have used himself and his platform as a great example of why you should not join gangs, of why you should stay out of that lifestyle, of why it's so destructive. All those years, all that work he put in, just to find himself in the situation that he was then in prison and is now. So to me, he was the most gangster guy, but now, unfortunately, he's just the more egotistical guy who can't come to terms with who he is, bro. And that's a guy who ended up saying in 2005, I'm done. He would give me slack and say, oh, you're jealous that you've never been to prison. My man, maybe when I was 16 years old, homie, maybe 17, maybe 18. But as an adult, if you really believe that somebody's jealous because they didn't go to prison, you have much more problems than I ever thought. It's sad to see a guy who you can tell, like when I hear the parole hearings, that guy, I met that guy. I met the guy who was humble. I met the guy who really wanted to change his life. I met the guy who was out here trying to make up for all the years he has lost. But unfortunately, he went back to being that con, bro. Being that vato in the pinta, trying to politic, trying to say this and that. But I mean, everything's out there, bro. It's sad because instead of using himself in a positive way to steer young men out of that lifestyle, he's pushing them forward again. He's pushing them towards that. You ain't been where I've been. You ain't been in this level. I've done this. I hang out with killers. You're glamorizing everything that when you were in there and you wanted to get out of prison, it's there on your parole hearing papers. You don't want to be in there, bro. You walked away from that life in 2005 to do all that time and now find yourself on the YouTube yarda politicking. To me, it's sad, bro. And it's a sad reality. But when it comes to expose to, I don't knock the guy home. Like I said, most people don't give a shit about that. Most people are out here trying to work, trying to take care of their families, homeboy. And the channel here, we've never changed, bro. It's always been the same. It's always been the same, bro. We're out here trying to help the community, trying to steer people away from all that shit, homeboy. But unfortunately, some people's egos are gonna be the end of them, bro. And that's just what it is, man. So with that, what's that? So with that, I think I dropped my 2 cents. We'll see when we do another live. Like I said, homie, I'm out here speaking the way I do because I care, fool. And unfortunately, the ego of some of these guys just, it's too hard for them to sit out there and just say, hey, homie, yeah, you know what, bro? I debriefed. This is why I was done with that life, man. It fucking took me away from my family. It took me away from this, took me away from that. Give the reality, bro. He can be such a guy that can actually give a reality, but unfortunately, it is what it is, brother. But all right, people, with that being said, bro, I'm gonna go chill with the wifey, man. Life is good, man. Life is what you make of it. And I'll catch you guys later, man. Stay free. Be happy, players. Nothing major. Happy New Year.